Shalom. All praises to Yahweh, Bahasham Yahushai. All praises to Yahweh, Bahasham Yahushai. Kal Halal Yahweh, Bahasham Yahushai, Bahasham Recha Kodash. Double honor to the elder apostles of the Great Millstone GMS, who rule well and who teach well, and salutations to the elect. Adawan Ratazah, which means Lord willing. So Lord willing, this lesson is quick and edifying and straight to the point. So as you can see on your screen right now, I've got this article that was put up today from the NewYorkTimes.com. All right, and yeah, it makes absolute sense that President Donald Trump is Emperor Nero back in the reincarnation. Okay, there's so many parallels between Nero and Trump, and one of them is this ballroom or banquet. Trump is wasting no time in tearing down the East Wing. All right, President Trump initially said the ballroom construction would not dismantle parts of the White House. His officials now say it is cheaper and more structurally sound to simply demolish the East Wing. And I'll link this news article in the description box beneath. All right. This was updated on the 23rd of October 2025, published on the 22nd. All right. As roaring machinery tore down one side of the White House, President Trump acknowledged on Wednesday that he was having the entire East Wing demolished to make way for his 90,000 square foot ballroom, a striking expansion of a project that is remaking the profile of one of the nation's most iconic buildings. Mr. Trump was unsentimental as news of the demolition spread. It was never thought of as being much, he said of the East Wing, which was home to the First Lady's office and spaces used for ceremonial purposes. It was a very small building. The process of tearing down the East Wing was expected to be completed as soon as this weekend, two senior administration officials said, as Mr. Trump moved rapidly to carry out a passion project that he said was necessary to host state dinners and other events. Yep. See that? Let's get the scripture in the book of Ecclesiastes, chapter 1, verses 9 to 10 in the Amplified Version, and it reads, "That which has been is that which will be again, and that which has been done is that which will be done again. So there is nothing new under the sun. Is there anything of which it can be said, 'See this, it is new'? It has already existed for the vast ages of time recorded or unrecorded, which were before us." All right, so it's all been done before, okay? Nothing new under the sun. There's nothing truly new under the sun. History repeats itself because the same spirits of those people are regenerated, doing the same old things in the earth. All right, they come back. Their spirits are recycled in the earth. Their spirits cycle back to the earth. People come back in new bodies, all right, doing the same things they did in times past. It's as simple as that. So, this is an example of reincarnation, right? Dealing with President Trump, who has to be Nero. He has to be Emperor Nero in the spirit. Okay. This project cost $250 million, by the way. Yeah, taxpayers' money. Waste of money, if you ask me. All right. But nonetheless, Trump has to bring about, expensive projects such as this because, again, he's Nero coming back. And if you're spiritual, then you will receive what I'm saying. Okay. All right. I asked ChatGPT, I screenshotted it, did Emperor Nero construct banquet halls? And it said, yes, Emperor Nero is well known for constructing elaborate banquet halls among many other luxurious architectural projects. The most famous example comes from his grand palace complex, the Domus Aurea Golden House, which today that would be the White House. Built after the Great Fire of Rome in 64 CE, the Domus Aurea included banquet halls decorated with gold leaf, precious stones, and frescoes, a revolving dining room, as described by Suetonius in the Lives of the Caesars, which supposedly rotated day and night, to mimic the movement of the heavens. Modern excavations suggest this could have been achieved through a mechanical or hydraulic system. Lavish gardens, fountains, and artificial lakes surrounding the palace, creating an environment suitable for imperial banquets and entertainment. So yes, Nero not only constructed banquet halls, but he also redefined Roman architecture and imperial luxury through them. His halls were among the most opulent ever built in ancient Rome. Okay, I asked chat other things too. All right, How exactly did Emperor Nero die? Emperor Nero Claudius Caesar Augustus Germanicus died by suicide on June 9th, 68 CE, marking the end of the Julio-Claudian dynasty, the first imperial family of Rome. Here's a step-by-step account of his final days and death according to ancient sources like Tacitus, Suetonius, and Cassius Dio. By 68 CE, Nero's popularity had collapsed due to heavy taxation and economic strain after lavish spending, blamed for the Great Fire of Rome, executions of senators and generals, rebellions in Gaul, Hispania, and by the Praetorian Guards in Rome. The Senate declared him a public enemy. Hostis, his guards abandoned him and he fled the city. I think reports said, in fact, this will go into it. Nero came to power through his mother Agrippina the Younger's ambition. She convinced Emperor Claudius, this is from AI overview on Google, to adopt Nero. She convinced Emperor Claudius to adopt Nero, making him the heir over his own son. Britannicus, after Claudius died in 54 AD, likely poisoned by Agrippina, she had the Praetorian Guard proclaim her son emperor. Family connections, Nero was the stepson of Emperor Claudius and was adopted by him, ensuring his succession to the throne. Agrippina's role, Nero's mother, Agrippina the Younger, was the primary force behind his rise. She married her uncle, Emperor Claudius, after eliminating rivals and persuaded him to adopt Nero and name him as his heir. Eliminating rivals, Agrippina worked to sideline Claudius' natural son, Britannicus, ensuring Nero had a clear path to the throne. So I asked Google, AI overview, I asked Google, how did Nero commit suicide? And AI overview said this: Nero died by suicide after fleeing the Senate's condemnation of him as a public enemy. He stabbed himself in the throat with a dagger, but due to his weakness, the wound was not immediately fatal. He was assisted by a freedman, Epaphroditus, who helped drive the dagger in after Nero found himself unable to do it alone. Flight and despair after being declared a public enemy by the Senate, Nero fled Rome on horseback and eventually arrived at the villa of his freedman, Phaon. He was reportedly in a state of shock and despair, scratched and disfigured from his hurried journey. The failed attempt, the senator had condemned him to death, and Nero, convinced he was about to be captured and executed, prepared to kill himself. He asked his companions to help dig his grave and attempted to stab himself, but he was unable to inflict a fatal wound. So, assisted suicide, he eventually asked his freedman, Epaphroditus, to help him. According to accounts, Epaphroditus helped Nero drive a dagger into his throat, though accounts differ on whether he did it alone or with the freedman's assistance. His last words were, as a centurion arrived to stop the bleeding, Nero uttered his last words, which were said to be too late, but what fidelity, or what an artist dies in me. Yeah. Okay. There you have it, man. Alright. Some history right there. Okay. But yeah, that whole, thing with the banquet, man, like, the White House is the modern day, version. Was it the Golden House? Alright. But we'll see what Donald does with it. Okay, he's doing the same thing over again in the spirit. Alright. Okay. Yeah, ancient Rome, it was the Golden House, okay. President time is the White House. So everyone comes back. Emperors come back as United States presidents. The prophets and different men of the Lord come back as well. Okay. So with that, I'm going to say shalom.